Hello and thank you for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Technology has changed the speed at which societies develop and change. However, masters of the arts provide timeless messages in their art and lives that still resonate with our modern societies. The Getty Museum, based in Los Angeles, California, exhibits a wondrous variety of visual art pieces, ranging from ancient to modern times, and artists from around the world. Within the museum's current exhibits, there are two art pieces by two different artists with an ageless perspective of society that makes their work forever relevant to our humanity. Paul Cézanne was a French painter from the 19th century that exhibited his works with Impressionist artist Claude Monet, and in around 1877 painted the Eternal Feminine. Cezanne had the luxury of following his artistic passions due to his father's success in banking and later a large inheritance. He was described as irritable, shy, and solitary, but had close friendships with many successful artists of his time. He married Hortense Fiquet after several years of hiding his relationship and his son from his father. Throughout his life, many considered him a failure and embittered, but he did not care. He tried to get into the École des Beaux art school, but didn't get admitted. He later submitted works to be displayed at the Salon de Paris, but they were constantly rejected, and only was accepted on his final submission in 1866. An article titled Love for the Ugly was published later in 1903 that harshly criticized Cezanne's art and caused his neighbors to ask him to move out of the town. Despite this, Paul kept on painting, trying to master his art form until his death. After having studied a little about Cezanne's life and artworks in class, and learning more about how artists use lines, light, and color, I was shocked and thrilled to find this painting on the second floor of the Getty's West Pavilion. The painting consists of a vaguely female figure, only discernible by the long hair and breasts, laying down or sitting back on top of a white bed. Above the woman in the distance near the top of the frame are mountains and clouds. From center to the bottom of the painting, the woman is surrounded by multiple figures, seemingly male. These figures come in all sorts, such as painters, wrestlers, a bishop, and musicians, all directing themselves toward the female figure. Cezanne's use of lines very nicely shows the focus of the piece. The woman's bed, rather than be shaped squarely, forms a triangle at the center, with the woman seemingly leaning on its base. He shows his mastery of his brush, as each brushstroke composing all the objects in the painting formed diagonal, parallel lines. However, only the woman was painted using brushstrokes in different directions, further impressing her as the focus of the painting. Despite the effects of the brushstrokes, the figures around the woman are clearly drawn towards the woman, chaotically surrounding her, as if fighting to reach her. To the right of the woman, there is a painter painting what seems to be the triangle shape of the bed, yet the painter is also leaning into the woman as if being sucked towards her by some gravity. The triangle forms surrounding the female figure, insinuate a divinity, a holy power of attraction. All around the central figure, the lines create action, chaos, even sounds from the brass instruments, pointing to the center of the painting, contrasting the woman's calm and relaxed posture. Her legs are open, her arms placed in a relaxed position as if she were sitting back watching a calm beach horizon in front of her. The piece's light serves many a purpose for interpretation. With a background of dark clouds and greenery with mountains, it implies that the bed is outside, and yet light does not seem to be coming from the sky. The shrubs or green to the left of the painting are darkened, except for the bits touching the edges of the bed, making it seem as if the light in the painting is emanating from the bed and figure. What's more, there is a possible light from the sky, or coming from the perspective of the viewer, as the bishop and the person next to the bishop show shading to their right sides, as if the sun was to their backs. The light coming from the woman is stronger, though, because the same shading is not seen on the painter, who has his back to the woman. The colors Cezanne uses for his piece are also have much to say about the scene. The woman is almost shining as the lightest and brightest in the painting, drawing our eyes toward her first upon looking at the painting. There is no one else around her wearing a light color. The dark blues and blacks on the clothes of the men contrast to her color. The reds that are worn by the bishop and the person to the left imply religion and perhaps royalty are within the masses. Cezanne also uses a light brown distinct from the golden yellows of the crown and the brass instruments to define the horizon in the distance, while some of the spectators in the crowd have small shades of red to imply a blushing of sorts on their faces. The only red in the female figure is the red that seems to be seeping out from where her eyes should be, almost as if the woman is crying tears of blood. The infinite feminine enriches our understanding of the world around us because it touches upon the infiniteness of our social feminine gender. From the beginning of time, the feminine gender of all human cultures has been worshipped, demonized, sexualized, and admired. There have been goddesses in many polytheistic religions, such as Athena, Pachamama, and Mazu of Greco-Roman, Incan, and Chinese origins, respectively. By contrast, Eve, Hester Prynne, and Marie Antoinette were demonized, and their stories have all been memorialized through movies, art, and books. The constant motif in advertising is the sexy young woman displaying the product that will make you sexy, wanted, and cool. This art piece perfectly captures all of this in one painting. The bishop is holding a cane in front of him, as if exercising the woman. The man, seeming to be royal to the left, holds a bell or trophy towards the woman. To the lower left, someone is holding some type of book or rectangular object, as if using it to quantify the center figure. The wrestlers seem to be fighting to be beside the woman, and the painter trying to capture her power and beauty. Below the trumpets playing music for the female, there are figures looking away, blushing, as if unable to keep their gaze upon the woman. Others to the bottom left seem to be hiding, looking away in fear. Beside the royal, there are even some that seem to be bent down, hunched in silent prayer. This painting beautifully reflects how we react and view the female gender, as much as Cezanne did in his life. Cezanne's artwork reflects his way of relating to females in his life. He's quoted as saying, "My wife likes only Switzerland and lemonade," interpreted as a demeaning joke. Despite the joke, Hortense Fiquet, Cezanne's wife, was his main model for his art, painting and drawing her image over 27 times. He would hide his relationship and son from his father for years, but always kept his mother in the loop. Cezanne also painted images of sexual violence, such as the abduction, but also fashionista images, like the conversation. His relationship with his wife was not the best, as he removed her from his will toward the end of his life. Today, we are doing the same things everywhere. Women are elected to lead countries. They're kept under strict and suppressive laws, loved as mothers and grandmothers. We argue and try to pass laws about what is feminism, who can be feminine, like the backlash Shakira got from critiquing the Barbie movie, and deciding if women are able to play in female sports. Videos go viral online when a statue of the Virgin Mary seemingly starts to cry blood. Cezanne very obviously painted a timeless masterpiece that touches the good, the bad, and the ugly of the feminine, and its timeless and infinite power to draw eyes, fear, admiration, and wonder. In the upper level exhibits gallery of the Getty Museum, I also found an artist with talent that is culturally significant. Upon entering the exhibition gallery, I came across a little known artist named Camille Claudel and her sculpture Higanti. I don't usually dabble in the sculptural arts, but Camille drew me in with her bronze bust that the museum described as conveying an arrogant attitude through the raised chin, pursed lips, and deeply carved eyes that create an intense gaze. Observing the bust, it is easy to see that Camille created sharp lines for the chin to display a young, strong man with a line of sight looking upwards, a common sign of arrogance displayed in various movies like Gaston from The Beauty and the Beast and Xerxes in the film 300. The shape of the head allows for the light to hit mainly the chin and facial features, but leaves the darkness in the eyes, leaving the viewers to interpret whether the person depicted is looking forward, up, down, or to the sides. Camille's choice of bronze for the casting allows the bust's texture to accentuate with the light in a way that gives the man a glowing outline, yet a dark and mysterious air. The details are amazing. I don't even compare It's not even compared to the statue meant to immortalize the famous soccer player Ronaldo. Despite the genius raw talent displayed in her work, Claudel became victim to the infinite feminine that Cezanne displayed. Claudel was a French sculptor working mainly with bronze and marble. Her works were exhibited in Paris during her time and praised by many who saw it. She studied in the Académie Colarossi in Paris, France. Alfred Bowyer was Claudette's mentor, and she later worked with and got into a relationship with Auguste Rodin. Her life and career success seemed inevitable. However, things took a turn for the worse. Her relationship with Rodin ended, and in 1905 she began acting erratically. By 1913, she was admitted to the psychiatric hospital in Neuilly-sur-Marne. She spent the majority of the second half of her life in hospitals, where she died in 1943. Her incredible work with its details and humanizing forms were overshadowed by the failed relationship with Rodin and the eventual mental illness diagnostic. Claudel's talent and mental health problems echo a current artist considered a genius of his craft, Kanye West. However, their lives went in completely different directions. While Claudel was admitted to a hospital, never to be seen or heard from by the public, West's voice has been amplified through his sponsorships, collaborations with Adidas, and with the help of the internet and current technologies. His music has reached millions. Regardless, you can catch Kanye in a similar pose to Gigante, showing arrogance as he poses for the paparazzi and reporters' cameras. In this way, Claudel's Gigante perfectly captured an expression that has been constant and easily recognized when seen. Cezanne Cezanne and Claudel showed talent and were able to transform their mediums of choice into timeless and relevant messages that touch on the human condition of emotions that are on a constant cycle in our cultures and societies. My experience at the Getty helped me appreciate their messages, and I hope you too can catch some such gems when going on your next museum trip. Thank you for watching.